Welcome, grade 12 matric mindsetters. Finally, the time has arrived. You're here with me, Megan, and of course, Mr. Lou. Finally, we are back right here on our time slot for the grade 12s. As you can see, it's been happening for the past 3 weeks. And unfortunately, this is Mr. Lou's last time here on the grade 12 show, he says. So, it's been a fantastic time, and now we are doing human reproduction, part 2. So I'm going to tell you where to get our information first of all. I will be on the page for a whole nother hour. If you were watching the grade 11 show before, Lou and I were then on that show as well. So this is the second hour that I have with him. So please pray for me. But anyway, it is facebook.com/learnextra, where I'll be on Facebook, Twitter @learnextra, and of course, if you want all the notes at your disposal, that is www.mindset.co.za/learnextra. And Mr. Lee is very upset with me, but I really love being on the show with him, so I hope that made up for it.
Now she changes her mind.
Part 2.
We've been talking about this human reproduction, and I've been telling you how to get a woman to like you. And men, it's simple, right? Woman, complicated. And I've tried, and she bats me like this. Absolutely ridiculous. Right. Now, we have spoken, me and you, and Megan jumps in now and then. Right. We have spoken about human reproduction. So we had a look at the male sexual organ, and we had a look at the female sexual organ, and we had a look at, did we do the menstrual cycle? I'm sure we did the menstrual cycle. We did the menstrual cycle.
That was the last thing.
I do remember, because she was so embarrassed. That's right. So we did the menstrual cycle. Now, we all know how an oocyte is made or an egg is made. Okay, so we've gone through that whole process. So today, we're going to look at the following. Okay, firstly, we're going to have a look at, okay, human reproduction in terms of the following things. Fertilization, right, the development of the embryo, and lastly, birth. Now, fertilization. We've done the first part. Okay, now instead of going through the menstrual cycle, we're going to say that the egg was fertilized. In other words, she was married, and at the right time, how do I say that? Things happen. Right.
Things got jiggy.
I like that one. That's it. Now, things get jiggy. Cool. There we are. I like it. And what happens is the male does certain things, and the sperm reaches the egg. Now, I say certain things because you don't think I'm embarrassed about it. We'll get to the big things later, right? So, the sperm gets to the egg, okay? And when it gets to the egg, only one can enter. The minute one is entered, okay, you've got to understand this carefully. The minute one sperm cell is entered the egg cell, they fuse, and the female or the egg is like amazing. It goes, and there's a barrier around it, and no more eggs, no more sperm can come through. That's what I've showed you here. I just wanted to give you a bit of a show and explain what's going on. Have a look. This sperm, this brother, he got there first, right? And I'm going to say that it is a male sperm. He shot out of there. Remember, we spoke about it. He came out of the guns. The females wasn't so acidic, right? Am I right, Megan?
Yep.
Okay, she stayed away from oranges and lemons and all that other stuff. Pineapples.
See?
And she ate the potatoes, you know, those things. Just keep it there, right? And it wasn't acidic, and the semen did its job, and the sperm came out and went, whoom, and it went through the cervix, and it went up past the uterus, and it went into the fallopian tubes, and it saw this thing that was like, wow.
Like when he sees like that acorn in Ice Age. Like,
that's it. Nice, right? And it's like eyes pop out, and it's like heaven. And he's like, oh my word. So he got there first. He didn't even think that the other guys behind him were like on his tail. So he had to do the last 100-meter sprints. He got there. As he got his head in there, because the head was over there, right? Not the color. I'm not worried about the color now. This guy was almost at it. Where are you going? Right? There we go. Don't jump. Right? This guy was on his tail. Now have a look how close this guy actually was. Okay? This guy's in. The minute this happens, right, there's a wall that builds up here, and it will, all this part here, will not let any other sperm cell in. Okay? We understand that. Because this one can only make one. Remember, haploid cell plus haploid cell makes a diploid cell, and we are all diploids. Now, please don't tell me, okay, please don't ask or something like it. I want to put it out now. This is not how twins are made. Twins doesn't mean 2 sperm cells into 1 egg. You get a triploid cell then, and it's not good. If one, you've learnt about it, if 1 chromosome is extra, right, you get, for example, 1 lost or 1 extra, for example, you get Down syndromes, right? So you've got to look at that. This is going to be exactly half more than what it used to be. If it was 46, right, it will be an extra 23 chromosomes of 1 more sperm cell gets in there. Not a good thing, right? Hey, Megan?
Not a good thing.
Not
I've seen a program where she actually had 6, like 2 sets of triplets.
2 sets of triplets. Now we'll figure out how that works just now.
Yeah,
Yes?
it confused me.
Please excuse Megan today. She's like down and
Like
she's
a
not
dopey,
feeling well,
yeah.
and she's dopey, and we need to do something to get this chick back up and going. Because at the moment she's like, bring in the atmosphere, get some life, girl.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she better be. Right? Now, that is all what happens when fertilization takes place. How the sperm goes into the egg. Okay. Now we get to the interesting part. Now we get onto how this actually happens. So let's have a look. Okay. Human reproduction is by internal fertilization. Okay. Most of the time. Yes? Am I right?
Yes, you can have, what is it? When they
In
inject
vitro
in
fertilization.
vitro,
That's
yeah,
it.
IVF.
There
you
we
go. I was
go. So
looking
what
for the
happens is
abbreviation.
you get an egg out and you sperm inside there, and they watch them and it fuses, and that is where they get 6 or 7 different one of your eggs, right? They put the sperm in, and then they plant it in you, right? And hopefully one takes, right? Those people who had 6 and 9 kids, all of them took. You get my point?
Shame.
Yes. It happens like that, right? And I promise you, they are thrilled. But let's carry on, okay? So first of all, it's internal fertilization, which is the most important thing, okay? Next, the sperm cells are, before we get that, remember, you get viviparous, oviviparous, and oviparous. Just putting it out there, getting your memory going, right? Oviparous means it's got eggs. Viviparous means it's inside the body of a human body, okay? Eggs means it comes out of an egg at the end. The eggs get laid. The animal is all by itself. It cracks open the egg and it comes out. Viviparous means that it's inside and it gets born live. There's no egg at all. Well, the egg gets fertilized and then it becomes inside the uterus, and there's no shell around it. So it's no egg around it, if you get what I'm trying to say. Okay? And the baby is live and it comes out live. And oviviparous, okay, means there's going to be an egg involved, and viviparous means live birth. So if you look at snakes, some snakes, they have their eggs inside them. Once they've hatched inside them, the live young comes out. That's the difference. Okay, now, I just throw some useless information there for you, which you had to know anyway. Okay, sperm cells are inserted into the vagina, right? It's pointless on the outside. It's not going to go through osmosis from the tummy into, right? What do you think about that?
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Never. Okay? So it's got to go inside the vagina, otherwise it's pointless. First of all, okay? Inside the vagina, of course, of the female, because I've never seen a male with a vagina. Have you?
No, not really, no.
Okay, so cool. First of all, by the process called copulation. Now, boys and girls, that word is very important. I've heard some strange words, and it's not the right time to put it, right? You get the nice ones, the gentle, the respect ones, like making love. Yes. Is there any other?
What, of making love?
Yes.
Words?
It's copulation, making love, and sex. There we go.
Yeah.
Don't answer the rest. That's the ones we're looking at, the 3.
Those 3.
Okay. Making love and sex means nothing, absolutely nothing in life science. Okay, so from now on, we talk about copulation. Yes, Megan?
Copulation. I got
Okay.
it.
I'm not going to ask Megan a lot of questions about this because
I'm fine. Go for it.
she's going to
Promise.
put me to shame. Right, now, this is where we're going to come, how a male works. Now, I want to teach all the ladies and Megan,
And
of
me.
course, right? I want to teach him. I can never explain to you what it feels like, but I can try and explain what happens. And 90% of the men, are you all listening to me? You don't know either. So listen, right? It's simple. The male parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system. Now, I want you to tell me what that means. Parasympathetic nervous system. Very important thing. The parasympathetic nervous system must first be stimulated before the penis to become erect. Okay? It has to be stimulated. Now, understand, that doesn't mean that you got to touch or do anything with the penis. Okay? The parasympathetic nervous system has to be stimulated. So let me give you an idea. Girls, you do not need to touch a male. Yes?
No.
Just got to look at him the right way, but his nervous
have to
system is there.
flutter.
Okay? That's how it works. It's got nothing to do with this area. It's got everything to do with this area and the whole body. Okay? It's a nervous system that makes it go right or makes it go erect. You understand me? Okay, cool. That's the first thing. Next thing, the penis becomes erect by vasodilation. Okay? Megan, what does that mean?
I was looking and I'm like, what?
Vasodilation. Come on, give me your best shot. Let's hear.
Vasodilation of the area.
Come on, let me hear it.
If you touch him,
No, not touch. How does the penis become erect? I want you to think of
movement,
not
excitement,
movement, not excitement.
blood.
What about the blood?
It flows there. Everything flows from up here to down there.
Don't believe her. Right. So, yes, she is right. Okay. What happens is means vasodilation. Dilation means it gets bigger, right? And it uses blood to get bigger. So it fills the tissues in there with blood, and the blood makes it become erect. Now you've learned something.
Got
Cool.
it.
Dilation does not mean smaller, it means bigger.
Okay.
Like your eyes, pupils dilate, they get bigger. Okay, cool. That's the first thing. If I have a look and I carry on, right, the arterioles in the penis, that's where we're going to get the blood from. Okay, the arterioles in the penis. Now, if you look, the increasing of the volume of blood is the most important thing. Which means, when there's blood in the penis, right, it goes hard. That is why women always say, and I'm going to say women always say, because they always say it, right? Blood here, they're perfectly fine. When they see somebody nice, blood goes down, they can't think anymore. It's rubbish. There's enough blood to run both.
Lies.
Just remember that. So, there's that. As long as you understand it. So the blood has to do it. That's the first thing. Next thing. Some of you guys must understand. I know you guys as a slang word. It's a slang word, so you need to listen. They call it a, can you remember?
For what?
For a penis that's hard. They're
Hard
going to get
on.
a?
Oh.
Not a hard on.
Is it in the morning?
Close. No. They call it a boner. Am I right?
Oh, okay. Yes.
They call it a boner. Okay?
Slang.
And the reason why I'm telling you this and using the slang word is because I know it might sound stupid, but people do think about this. There is no bone involved.
No.
Okay? It's just connective tissue and spongy tissue. It's soft tissue. That's why it can go soft. The minute it's got a lot of blood in it, it becomes hard because you pump the blood in, it becomes nice and hard and becomes solid. That is it.
Why
It's
is it
got
called a
nothing to do
boner?
with bones,
Do you
hey?
know why it's called a boner?
Because they normally think it's nice and hard. And if you look at your leg, there is muscle around it which makes it soft, but your leg is hard. Your bones in your wrist are hard. So I think that's why they think that there would be a bone in there once it's hard. But I've never seen a bone disappear and come back and you know what I mean? Right, so there we've got that. First of all, then we've got the erect penis. So the erect penis, okay, it's the tissue causes waves, right, through the urethra grows. So once this penis gets nice and big, okay, now you remember that the male's penis has got one pipe for the sperm and the urine to come out. Yes, you remember that. We spoke about it. Now, the problem is there's a valve. That's not a problem, it's very, very important. There's a valve that once this penis tissue, okay, has been hardened, okay, we close the valve. We have to close the valve. Because if we don't close the valve, you must remember, while copulation is happening, people say it's exercise, but you're still relaxing, okay? And the minute you relax, if that valve was not there, right, the bed would be very wet and smell like ammonia. It's not going to be very nice, is it?
Wouldn't smell too great, no.
No. So the urine will come out. Not only that, let's say that's out of the question. That's fine. But the minute you ejaculate, you're relaxing as well, the urine will come out. The urine is acidic. What is acidity going to do to the sperm? It's going to kill it. Pointless. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you all remember that. So that's the very important thing. Now, I'm going to ask Megan about this part. During copulation, right, what do we actually do? No, you can't read it on the computer. That just sucks. Right.
Okay, wait, so I'll exit.
It's too late now.
I didn't read it though.
Okay.
Okay. It's on Facebook, so talk to me on Facebook. Yes.
What do you do for copulation?
What do you do?
Yes, what is the movement? You got to explain it. You must remember, life science, you got to write an exam, right? So this is very important. You got to understand. You got to write an exam, and you cannot say to the examiner at the end of the year,
We thrust.
my address is this, and I will show you just in case. It doesn't work like that. So whether you are doing sexual reproduction, whether you are doing evolution, whether you're doing everything, you cannot do a physical thing. You need to be able to take a physical thing or a physical thing and explain it in words. What do they do?
It reminds me of, you know, when you eat food and you contract and release. And when it comes,
Okay, so
when you
what is
swallow
that?
food,
That's
contraction,
and releasing. So
release.
it's rhythmic movements.
Okay, yeah.
Rhythmic movements. There we go. So I've got a rhythmic movement is what copulation is. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there. I want you to think of big words. Okay. I did give them a question, didn't I? No. Haven't given them a question yet.
No.
Okay. There was a specific question I wanted to ask you. I'll get back to it. You go have a break. Stretch. I'm going to stretch because Megan is as red as you have no idea. And we'll come straight back after the break.
Thanks, Lou. Okay, well, Matrix, have a great break, and we'll see you straight after. Welcome back, Matrix. I hope you had a fantastic ad break. Lou and I were just looking at the page, and we are thrilled to see that you guys at home are enjoying our show. And we even have a little hashtag called LouMags, but it's actually Megs, but we'll just stick with that. So
Megs is perfect.
LouMags. So we left off at rhythmic movement of what it's actually called when you do copulation. So, Mr. Lou, please carry on.
It's got nothing to do with coping. It's copulation.
I'm sorry, Lou.
She copes
I
it
can't
every
even pronounce circulatory. Okay, I did it now, but I couldn't.
Terrible. Now, here we go. We have the rhythmic movements, and we're going on, and we're giving it go. What happens? A lot of people want to know, a lot of guys and a lot of girls want to know. Well, I can tell you about a guy's point of view, so get this.
I'll be the girl point of view.
Oh, my word. Okay, now, what happens is we have to ejaculate, right? That's a big word, okay? We don't use the word that's another word for arrive. How cool is that, right? So what we do is we all know as men, hopefully, well, one day you will or whatever, it's an explosion, right? Now, what that explosion is a contraction, okay? Now, if we have a look at it, the following things, and we've learnt about these names, epididymis, vas deferens, corpus gland, the prostate gland. So let's have a look at it. It is called by the smooth muscles of the epididymis, right? The vas deferens, remember, not the vas efferents. The vas efferents is the collecting tubules inside the testes. Okay, cool? So it's the vas deferens, right? The seminiferous vesicles, the corpus gland or the corpus gland. Remember, the corpus gland and the fructose, right? So that these things have got energy. right? Next thing, you have the prostate gland, which increases the, the alkalinity, so that we have semen in there. They all respond by contracting. And that contracting is like, bah! You get what I'm trying to say? Yes, Megan?
Like, pa!
Straight away, bah! Okay, now, sorry, I've got to share this with you. Before I carry on, right? We've learnt about things called epididymis, vas deferens, seminous vesicle. Now, I thought this was brilliant, right? Now, what is the difference between males and females when it comes to their sexual organs? Let's see if Megan can answer that.
Well, for one, yours looks floppy and ours looks compact.
Nice. Me, I would say, is a vas deferens.
Okay.
Did you get that?
No, but my explanation was way better.
No, there's a vast difference between the two.
A vast difference.
It's a vast
Think of it
difference.
like
So
that.
that was one of my boys in my class, and I thought that was phenomenal. I thought it was cool. Now, these wave-like contractions cause ejaculation. Cool. Now, when you ejaculate, you put the semen and the sperm inside the vagina. Now, we as men like helping because our job is to go through fertilize. Our job is to copulate and to make as many children as possible. I know it's a bad way of looking at it, but you must understand that we are still animals. We are classified as animals. Yes, we're human, but in the whole scheme of things, we're classified as human. As animals. And animals, their idea is to let their genes live the longest. Right or wrong?
Right.
Okay, so if I have to make as many offspring as possible, those offspring have more chance of surviving than if I have very little bit of offspring. So that's what a male does. A male wants to reproduce a lot, where a female reproduces and has the child. We want to go to the next person. That's how it works. Okay, so we need to give our sperm the best chance of survival. Yes? Okay? Which means we add the alkaline part, which is the semen. We give them fructose to give them like power, right? Then we also, if you have a look at it, the semen is alkaline, right? Which I've told you. It increases the normal vagina's acidity to pH of 6. I know I stopped on the other thing, but I'll get back to it now, so just relax. Right, the pH of 6. Now, if you have a look at it, we have basic and we have acidity. Now, the last time I did this, I got moaned at by somebody for this. So I'm going to do it the right way. Okay, we start off, right, from 1 to 14. Okay, and in the middle is half of it, 7. Anything this side is either is alkaline, anything that side is, it is acidic. Hopefully that's wrong. Yeah, it is, if I'm not mistaken. Now, you don't really need to know this. All I want to get you is, if you look at it, this here, 7 is neutral. It's like pure water. Okay, so that's nice. So if I can get the vagina all the way to as close to 7 as possible, then I've done my job. Okay? Then I can get the male's a fair chance, the female a fair chance, and I can get the sperm there. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Okay, and then I've come to the part where I stopped. Okay, now this is how we give them more of a chance. We, as men, we try and drop the sperm right in front of the cervix. Okay, now you've got to remember that the female, right, they've got, I'm going to do this, there it is, and this, there it is. Right, then you get, that's the cervix, you get the vagina, and that's out. Okay, so there's your fallopian tubes or whatever. The cervix is right here, right at this point here. Okay, so let me just get another color there quickly. It's right over there, right? So that is your cervix. Now, that is where the sperm's got to go. It's got to go in there, up there into the fallopian tubes. Yes? Because fertilization happens in the fallopian tubes. Now, I need to get the guys up there. So what is the point of dropping the sperm here? Right? They've got to go a little bit further. So what we do as men, right? We are selfish. We want them to do as little work as possible. So we drop it off right at the doorstep. Okay? Right at the door. We don't even do it in the parking lot. Right? We take them to the door where as a car drives up, the doors open automatically and we say, get up, go shopping. That's the type of thing. You get what I'm trying to say? right at the door. So we drop our sperm, right, off, where is it? We drop it off right at the cervix, okay? At the cervix, we can't go any further. That cervix hole is like a pinhole, right? It's very, very small. You won't get in there, yes?
Yep.
How would you?
Pinhole. Tiny.
Cool. So this whole part, the cervix, is very small. You're not going to get in there. Then the sperm goes swimming, right? It does the breaststroke. You know the breaststroke?
Breaststroke
right?
is like that.
Don't embarrass me here. I know it's a breaststroke. You can do the
Freestyle.
butterfly as well and the freestyle and everything.
Okay.
Right? Just trying to make it look cool, right? I mean, this is not that cool compared to, you know what I'm trying to say. So they do the swimming. They do the swimming with their cilia, their tail, right? And their tail spins like a little motor all the way, and it goes all the way. It's like a little motor jet, but all the way in there, right? And as it gets there, it tries to find the egg. Okay, so it swims up the uterus and into the fallopian tubes. Simple, easy. Told you. This is easy stuff. This is stuff you get 100% for. Okay? The sperm. Hey, whoa. This is where it comes funny. Okay? Listen to me carefully. This is a serious chat between us. You listening?
Got it.
Good. Now, concentrate. Right? Sperm, boys and girls, lasts for 3 days inside a woman. So don't think that if she's not ovulating now, and you do the nasty, which I always say, yeah,
The jiggy.
the jiggy,
Get jiggy.
jiggy and the nasty, right? You are clear, because today I set it in, by tonight we cool, we clear, we sorted. But you do it on the Monday, she's got the whole of the Tuesday, the whole of the Wednesday, and the whole of the Thursday. But do not just think one day, fun, that's it, right? 3 days it survives. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good thing.
Not good.
Well, it depends if you're married. Yes. So, sperm can last up to 3 days. Very, very important. So you've got to look out for that. Okay. The reason why I say it lives up for 3 days is when we get to specific parts of ovulation and all of this and how things work. Okay. You will see on last week's notes, you can have a look at that structure, right? And when she ovulates on the 14th day, right? If you have made love, copulation.
Excuse me?
So you see, I'm used to
Mhm.
this. Copulation. If you've gone through copulation on day 11, right? You've got day 12, day 13, day 14. You can still have and the dance. Whew, she's giving it horns here. Rhythmic movement. You are so right. Right? So, I see, and I've lost my thought.
I'm sorry.
That was horrible.
I was just doing some jiggy and then.
Right, so 3 days, 11, and this whole what's it, ovulation, that's the word, right, comes out on the day 14th. Remember, it doesn't always have to be 14th, but on the day 14th, yeah, we're doing normal, right, you can still get pregnant 3 days afterwards, which is, trust me,
Not good.
not a good thing after a while. Okay, so, now, we have decided that we are married, right, and we want kids, right? Now, you're going to go through this copulation, in my eyes, making love, and you want a child, right? So the first thing that happens is the sperm goes into the cervix, up the uterus, into the fallopian tube, sees this acorn, was it?
Yeah, acorn.
Acorn from Ice Age, right? Goes in it, and fertilization has happened. Now, I want you to have a look at this picture, okay? Before I carry on, look how long, look what happens through all the processes before it gets here. If you have an egg cell here and there's sperm, it's not going to fertilize, okay? It won't, because it hasn't got enough time to go through its whole process to go into the endometrium wall. Okay, so are you with me there? Now I want you to have a look at this. This is, run it through quickly. Okay, it goes from this side. Right, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, creates a Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle gets bigger. The bigger it gets, the more estrogen it produces. Estrogen stops FSH, helps build the endometrium wall. Cool. When there's too much estrogen, luteinizing hormone comes, makes it burst. The bursting is where you get, what's that place called? It's called ovulation. Ovulation, we're releasing of the ovary. The ovum. Okay, so the egg, right?
Yeah.
The rest of that old Graafian follicle becomes the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum produces progesterone. Progesterone, smaller it gets, the less progesterone it gets. Okay, now, this little egg is released. Yes? You with me, Megan?
Yeah.
Good.
Eggs
girl.
released.
Right. A sperm. Look at the cute little sperm over there. Right. Yes. Okay. The sperm comes along. It joins in there, and now we have the male and the female gamete. So I'm going to put there the male and the female gamete there. Can you see it? Okay. That's the male and the female gamete together. Haploid, haploid joins in. They become one, and they become diploid. We all happy. When it's diploid, what are they going to go through? Meiosis or mitosis? It's going to be mitosis. Mitosis to create a new cell. And it does it again, and it does it again, and it carries on going. It just keeps going through more and more and more. And I'll explain all that just now. I'm just showing you on a picture. Right? When it gets close to this part of here, what happens is it shoots itself, it sticks itself into the endometrium wall. And once it's inside the endometrium wall, they classify you as pregnant. Right. Now, if that doesn't happen, let's say it gets fertilized and it does the whole thing, it goes through mitosis and it becomes all of these big names and it doesn't implant itself, it's just going to leave the body. Okay, so you're not pregnant. Can you get where I'm coming from? Megan, yes?
Got it?
She's not concentrating with me today. Right. Now,
I am with you. You're going to
yes,
be pregnant.
in the studio. Now, let's have a look at this. This is how we're going to take it. Fertilization has to take place in the ovary. Yes? We've spoken about it. Very, very, very important. Has to take place, as soon as I get a color and it's the right side, has to take place in the fallopian tubes. Yes? Now, when they join, okay, look here. The zygote is pushed towards the uterus. Okay? The minute the sperm and the egg join, it becomes a
Zygote.
Very
See?
nice.
I
There
know
it
what's
is.
happening.
Good girl. Right? Now, it gets pushed towards there using rhythmic movements.
Ooh,
That's
chicka
it.
chicka.
You dance it, girl. By a muscle contractions. You know that whole movement. It's got a little cilia in it.
It's not peristatic movement. Someone asked if it's like, peristaltic
No,
movement.
it's not
No.
that. You don't want to squeeze the egg. Right?
Just
it's just it's
gently.
moving it. There's little cilia that pull it like this all the way through. Right? So that goes along. It's like getting. How do I say? You are running, and they want you to run fast, and somebody comes behind you and says, "Come, come, 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 come." Am I right? And you're like, "Whoa, you with me?" You're like,
Whoa.
just shoot. There we go. That's what we're looking at. Right. That is the contraction. It's just moving it all the way along. Okay, cool. Then the process takes about 3 days. Takes about 3 days to do this. Cool? Very, very important. It's quick. 3 days to get through all of this process. Now, here we go. The zygote
Undergoes.
the zygote undergoes mitosis, not meiosis. Please don't get confused. Okay? So it undergoes mitosis. Okay? It divides into a solid ball of cells called the morula. Big words. Morula. Now, guys and girls, you need to know these words, okay? Because these are the important things. They need to know the process of how this thing happens, okay? It's a big process. Then, after 6 days, okay, the morula develops into a blastula. It is blastula.
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 Blastula, that's it. So it becomes a blastula and attaches, where is it? And attaches to the lining of the uterus. Okay, attaches itself to the lining. The minute it's a blastocele. What's it? Blastocele. A blastocele. The minute is that it plants itself in the uterus wall, and that's when she's pregnant. I think I need a break.
He needs water.
I need water. I need a
now.
break.
I think you should go get water, and we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, Matrix. I hope you had a fantastic break. Lou had some water, I got up, did some jiggy, and everyone in the studio was laughing, but until next time, I'm going to tell you where to get the information just in case you need a little refreshment. Facebook.com/learnextra with an X, and then also www.mindset.co.za/learnextra with an X, just in case you don't know. And also I'd like to thank Macmillan for proudly sponsoring this fantastic show. So Lou, please carry on with fertilization and being pregnant.
I cannot believe, you know what, I thought a break was going to be worth it. But you left me with this thing, right? And she did some bum walk and some jiggy with it. I'm scarred for life.
It's called my party trick. It's called the bum walk.
Trust me, you stay on that side. It's worth it. Now, as I said, you get, right, here we go, the blastula. See, water helps. The blastula, and it gets planted into the endometrium, which is on the uterine wall. Okay, cool. Once that's happened, you are now classified as pregnant. Yes. Okay. If that doesn't happen, it passes out. Cool. You must understand, the outer layer of the blastocyst, is called, okay, here it is called trophoblast. Okay, it's a trophoblast. Now, you could say trophoblast, I suppose, but to me it's a silent H, right? The trophoblast, which develops into the chorion. Now, these big words are words they are going to use in the following sections. Are you listening?
Listening?
Multiple choice, right? One word answers. And say whether column A will go with A, or B, or both, or none. That's what they're going to ask it. They're going to ask you about the trophoblast, the chorion, the blastocyst, right? The embryo. We're going to learn all about these words. That's what they're asked about. And you must understand, you must be able to write an essay about this. You must be able to say exactly what I'm telling you now in the order that we're coming to. Right? So, let's have a look. The chorion, which is a very important.
NB.
NB in capital letters. Right? The reason why it's very important, because watch out. The chorion has finger-like outgrowth. Okay? If I don't drop everything, there we go. Finger-like outgrowth. It does one of these. Now, look at the difference. That or that. Why would there be finger-like outgrowths of the chorion? They're very important. Why do we always have finger-like outgrowth? Like, for example, cilia. Okay? What about, these aren't the same, but I'm just saying, I'm giving you things that are similar. It's cilia, right? You get villi, you get plants, root hair. Okay, what are we doing? We are increasing the surface area. I was going to ask Megan, but there was no chance.
We know how that's going to end.
There was no chance. Right, so it increases surface area. That's why it's a finger-like protrusion, right? So there we go. Which grows, here we go, which grows into the endometrium wall. So it literally, if I go back up, I'm sure it's on the slide. Here we go. Look at that. There it is. There it is. You see it? Here's the chorion. Can you see what it does? It's finger-like outgrowth, and it's going straight into this endometrium wall. Now, the reason why it does that, let's go all the way down. There we go. This anchors, first of all, and develops, anchors and it starts developing into the embryo and increases the surface area for the absorption of nutrients. That's why we have finger-like outgrowths. Okay? Bigger surface area, it can gain more all the time. Very, very important. Okay? Can you give me a name what this thing, let me just get this. I want to put it in the right way. Okay, increases the surface area. It's the embryo. It anchors the embryo. Okay, right. Sticks it in there, and it gets the nutrients. So let's see how good she is. Megan.
Lou.
This chorion that's going to anchor itself to the mother, the endometrium wall. What do you think it is?
Give me a clue.
I can't, because then it's going to just be giving it away. It's like a belly button. You know what I'm trying to say? You just give it away.
A belly button.
Yes.
Is it a zygote?
No. I mean, how much more of a clue does she want? Seriously.
These big words you're using make no sense.
What's a belly button?
Oh, you're talking about the tube. What's that tube?
You can't tell
Wait,
me. I
no,
didn't give
no,
you
I do
more
know
than
what
that.
it is.
You're
Wait,
right.
You snip it. Wait. Umbilical cord.
That's my girl. Right. When fertilization takes place, it results in a diploid zygote. Okay, so we know that from the beginning, right? Now, the zygote is a combination. Oh, where are we? Have we gone further? Where have we done this? Yes, yeah, there we go. The zygote is a combination of mom and dad, right? Otherwise, it would be pointless. We got the sperm, which is the male gamete, and we got the egg, which is a female gamete, and they fuse together to create a diploid cell. Okay, there's a reason why we put this in this order. Okay, the zygote combination of the mom and dad, and it's got to be hereditaristic.
Hereditaristic.
It's going to be a long day. Gives the genes of mom and dad to kids so he can get his own. Right? How's that?
That's much
Hereditary characteristics.
Hereditary.
There we go. It will come out. It will come out.
Eventually.
Right? Slowly. So hereditary characteristics, right, of both the male and the female. Okay? So of mom and dad. That is why it's so cute. When you have a baby, trust me, I've seen this and it's so cool. So it's going to say, oh, he's got your nose, but he's definitely got my ears. And then the woman will crack up with this, but he's got your feet. Poor child. They always say that. I don't get it. I think I have cute feet.
I have my mom's little hands and feet.
Sometimes we give the negatives. The zygote, right, here we go. The zygote forms into an embryo and finally a fetus. Okay, fetus is the main part that we need. Okay, now, the female gives birth to ensure the survival and the continuation of the species. That's what we do. Simple, it's easy. Okay, now, that is fertilization in a nutshell. Now, you need to understand it, you need to be able to do it. Okay, so you with me? Now, I'm going to share something with you that's quite cool, but strange. Hey, Megan, you with me?
Yeah, cool but strange.
Okay, cool. Now, I have the ultimate, respect for women. Absolutely. You can ask her, right?
He does. Such a gentleman.
Ultimate respect for women. Because of the following. Right? I'm first going to show you this part in the embryonic growth, but I just want to tell you that. I want to put it out now so you understand it for just now. Right. So have a look at this. Okay? There we go.
I posted it on the page. So
sorry? You're going to put it on the
so
page?
they can follow. No, I've posted it. They must just look at it now.
That's it. Now, look at that. 18 days, look how small it is, all the way up to 11 weeks. Okay? That's the growth pattern of a child. Right? Starts off as a couple of cells. There it is. The ovum, the blastocyst, the embryo, 18 days, 14 weeks. Okay? 7 weeks, 21, what's it?
7.5.
Oh, there we go. That looks better. 7.5 weeks. I'm going mad. 11 weeks, and then, of course, 15 weeks is the big one. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and that's in centimeters. Okay, cool? Now, I'm sure there was a... there we go. The placenta. Very important. Okay? The placenta is very important. It's formed from a link between mother and fetus. Cool? Now, understand something about this umbilical cord. It is the umbilical cord. It's the placenta they're talking about. We'll get to the umbilical cord just now. I just want to go straight to it. Right? The development. Okay? This means there is no direct transference of blood or nutrients or anything. So, if I had baby, come hither.
I'm baby.
Come hither.
I'm a little baby.
Okay, she's going to make an excellent mother one day.
No.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Far from now.
So I'm baby. Just put your hand up. No, you don't have to do that, 'cause there we go. I'm baby, and you mother. So what happens is, I come and take my chorion and I stick it in there. There we go. Okay, now, is her blood going into my blood? Definitely not, right? So there's nothing, no nutrients, no nothing is going between the two of them when it comes to fingers. But when it comes to this, right, the bloods don't mix. That's why mom and baby can have different blood groups. But the nutrients can go from this finger into that finger and from this finger into this finger. Do you understand? Thank you, my sweetie pie. You're
Thank you.
perfect. That's the first time I've seen you with a big smile on your face.
Hey.
Right, so,
Lies.
yeah, no, I'm lying. So it transfers, there's no direct transfer of mother's blood and the fetus's blood. Are you happy with that? Okay, cool. Now, the placenta develops about 12 weeks after conception. Okay, which means the sperm and that got together. Okay, cool. Then, where am I now? Which allows safe exchange. Okay, this whole thing, conception, it allows safe exchange of a number of substances. That's why we have the placenta. There's specific things baby needs, specific things mother's got to help it with. You with me? Okay, so we're going to have a look at the following things. For example, let's have a look at the good things. Okay, oxygen's the first. There it is. Well, there I'm going to put oxygen. Okay, why do we eat, Megan?
To get bigger and get nutrients.
There we go. That's the word I'm looking at.
Nutrients.
Very nice. You were lucky.
Ah.
Okay. Nutrients, very, very important. The baby's developing. That is why they always say you eat like a pregnant woman. Okay. They're taking a lot. They're not eating for themselves. They're putting it for baby. Baby wants it. That's why they get cravings. Okay. What I don't understand is when the men do cravings with him. And trust me, it's the truth, I craved toast and butter for some reason. Okay, so, hormones. Another big thing that it needs. Next one, antibiotics. Big, because when it comes out, it needs something to fight germs. There's germs out here, right? And then, of course, what else was there? There's nutrients, oxygen, hormones, antibiotics, and... I'll think about the other one just now. It was just something that's extra, that you don't need. Right, it gets rid of carbon dioxide, waste, right, urine. All of that stuff gets given off back to the mother so the mother can get rid of it. You with me? That's what it does. But also understand, I'm going to come down and I want you to have a look at these pieces. And it's going to be exactly, I'm going to talk about it, but your mother can also give you herpes, right? It can give HIV. It can. They can't prove it yet, but it could. But they can't prove it yet. That's why when baby gets born, they give them antiretrovirals, and the child could not have HIV. But I put it on there because there is a chance. And whether it's 1 out of 1 billion, there's still a chance. Right, Meg?
Yes, you can give a
Still
child something.
So, you got to understand.
Hereditary diseases.
Hereditary diseases,
I could
very
say it now.
nice. Now, there's a couple of things that mothers can give their child that will pass on. Nicotine, so smoking. Yeah, very bad.
Bad.
Drugs,
Even worse.
worse. Alcohol. Okay, so there they are. Alcohol, cigarettes. Okay, alcohol, drugs, viruses. Okay, so baby can be given all these things from mother. Okay, because it can go through the chorion and through all that part. Right now, next thing. The amniotic fluid, you get, there we go. I want to get past this. Okay, so the amniotic fluid is this fluid around the baby, okay? Now that's therefore very important, so you must listen to me because I want to get through this, okay? The baby is inside this liquid, and this liquid there is for specific things. It keeps the baby warm when it's cold outside. It keeps the baby cool when it's hot outside. And best of all, it acts as a shock absorber. So as you bump it, the baby's not going to feel it. The baby's in there and it takes it with a wave movement. Okay, so that's what it's there for. It also helps when giving birth. Okay, so next thing I want to show you is giving birth. Now, look at this. There's the pictures. It's on there. And I want you to listen to the following part. Okay. You've got the endometrium wall, right? And on that endometrium wall, you've got this fetus, and it's connected and everything's cool. And then you've got this huge tummy, which grows, right? Well, not tummy, it's the uterus, right? And the baby's inside, and you've got the amniotic sac, and you've got the amniotic fluid, right? Now it's time to give birth. Cool. So what happens is the pituitary gland sends a hormone called oxytocin, okay? And that hormone goes to the uterus, and the uterus starts going, it starts doing this, right? And remember that the cervix is going to start opening a little bit slightly. But as you do this, what happens when you push a balloon like this? It pops. So what happens is this amniotic sac bursts, and then the amniotic fluid comes out, and that is when you're in labor, right? Your waters burst, and you're in labor. Now what happens is these muscles start contracting. And as they're contracting, they start pushing the baby through the cervix. Okay? So that cervix starts opening up, and the cervix starts coming out. The baby's head comes out first. And once the baby's head is out, the doctor turns it onto its side so that its shoulders and its hips and the rest of its body can come out. Right. Once it's out, it's got hold of that umbilical cord. Now remember, it can still breathe because it's getting everything from its mommy. Right? Then what happens is they tie the umbilical cord and they cut it. Because if they don't tie it, there's a problem. Right or wrong?
Right.
Okay. Then, once baby's out, they take it off. That is not the end of birth, right? Then mother's got to get rid of the afterbirth, which is the endometrium wall and that whole sac and everything. So she pushes that out, and once that is pushed out, birth is ending. Right. Now, that sounds like, it's all right. You're going to look at it on TV and you'll go, gross. Nothing is more beautiful. And that's why I respect women. Like, unbelievable.
Aww.
I cannot believe how they can do that. Right. It's all yours, guys. Enjoy.
Thanks, Lou. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. You seem to have enjoyed the show tremendously. Now I can't say words. Fantastic. So I just want to say thank you, Macmillan, for proudly sponsoring our show. Thank you guys for posting on the page. Honestly, it was one of the best responses we've ever had. And I just want to say, woo, Team Lou Megs. Now it's actually got an MEGZ. So thank you guys. Have a fantastic evening. Don't forget, Connections is on right now, 7:15. Stay tuned. We're going to be discussing very important issues now. And I just want to say thanks from me and Lou, and see you next week.
It happens like that, right? And I promise you, they are thrilled. But let's carry on, okay? So first of all, it's internal fertilization, which is the most important thing, okay? Next, the sperm cells are, before we get that, remember, you get viviparous, oviviparous, and oviparous. Just putting it out there, getting your memory going, right? Oviparous means it's got eggs. Viviparous means it's inside the body of a human body, okay? Eggs means it comes out of an egg at the end. The eggs get laid. The animal is all by itself. It cracks open the egg and it comes out. Viviparous means that it's inside and it gets born live. There's no egg at all. Well, the egg gets fertilized and then it becomes inside the uterus, and there's no shell around it. So it's no egg around it, if you get what I'm trying to say. Okay? And the baby is live and it comes out live. And oviviparous, okay, means there's going to be an egg involved, and viviparous means live birth. So if you look at snakes, some snakes, they have their eggs inside them. Once they've hatched inside them, the live young comes out. That's the difference. Okay, now, I just throw some useless information there for you, which you had to know anyway. Okay, sperm cells are inserted into the vagina, right? It's pointless on the outside. It's not going to go through osmosis from the tummy into, right? What do you think about that?
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Never. Okay? So it's got to go inside the vagina, otherwise it's pointless. First of all, okay? Inside the vagina, of course, of the female, because I've never seen a male with a vagina. Have you?
No, not really, no.
Okay, so cool. First of all,
grade 12 matric mindsetters. Finally, the time has arrived. You're here with me, Megan, and of course, Mr. Lou. Finally, we are back right here on our time slot for the grade 12s. As you can see, it's been happening for the past 3 weeks. And unfortunately, this is Mr. Lou's last time here on the grade 12 show, he says. So, it's been a fantastic time. And now we are doing human reproduction, part 2. So I'm going to tell you where to get all your information first of all. I will be on the page for a whole nother hour. If you were watching the grade 11 show before, Lou and I were then on that show as well. So this is the second hour that I have with him. So please pray for me. But anyway, it is facebook.com/learnextra, where I'll be on Facebook, Twitter @learnextra, and of course, if you want all the notes at your disposal, that is www.mindset.co.za/learnextra. And Mr. Lou is very upset with me, but I really love being on the show with him, so I hope that made up for it.
Changes her mind.
Part 2.
We've been talking about this human reproduction, and I've been telling you how to get a woman to like you. And men, it's simple, right? Woman, complicated. And I've tried, and she bats me like this. Absolutely ridiculous. Right. Now, we have spoken, me and you, and Megan jumps in now and then. Right. We have spoken about human reproduction. So we had a look at the male sexual organ, and we had a look at the female sexual organ, and we had a look at, did we do the menstrual cycle? I'm sure we did the menstrual cycle. We did the menstrual cycle.
That was the last thing.
I do remember because she was so embarrassed. That's right. So we did the menstrual cycle. Now, we all know how an oocyte is made or an egg is made. Okay, so we've gone through that whole process. So today, we're going to look at the following. Okay, firstly, we're going to have a look at, okay, human reproduction in terms of the following things. Fertilization, right, the development of the embryo, and lastly, birth. Now, fertilization. We've done the first part. Okay? Now, instead of going through the menstrual cycle, we're going to say that the egg was fertilized. In other words, she was married, and at the right time, how do I say that? Things happen. Right.
Things got jiggy.
I like that one. That's it. Now, things get jiggy. Cool. There we are. I like it. And what happens is the male does certain things, and the sperm reaches the egg. Now, I say certain things because you don't think I'm embarrassed about it. We'll get to the big things later, right? So, the sperm gets to the egg, okay? And when it gets to the egg, only one can enter. The minute one is entered, okay, you've got to understand this carefully. The minute one sperm cell is entered the egg cell, they fuse, and the female or the egg is like amazing. It goes, and there's a barrier around it, and no more eggs, no more sperm can come through. That's what I've showed you here. I just wanted to give you a bit of a show and explain what's going on. Have a look. This sperm, this brother, he got there first, right? And I'm going to say that it is a male sperm. He shot out of there. Remember, we spoke about it. He came out of the guns. The females wasn't so acidic, right? Am I right, Megan?
Yep.
Okay, she stayed away from oranges and lemons and all that other stuff. Pineapples. And she ate the potatoes, you know, those things. Just keep it there, right? And it wasn't acidic, and the semen did its job, and the sperm came out and went, whoom, and it went through the cervix, and it went up past the uterus, and it went into the fallopian tubes, and it saw this thing that was like, wow.
Like when he sees like that acorn in Ice Age. Like,
that's it. Nice, right? And it's like eyes pop out, and it's like heaven. And he's like, oh my word. So he got there first. He didn't even think that the other guys behind him were like on his tail. So he had to do the last 100-meter sprints. He got there. As he got his head in there, because the head was over there, right? Not the color. I'm not worried about the color now. This guy was almost at it. Where are you going? Right? There we go. Don't jump. Right? This guy was on his tail. Now have a look how close this guy actually was. Okay? This guy's in. The minute this happens, right? There's a wall that builds up here, and it will, all this part here, will not let any other sperm cell in. Okay? We understand that. Because this one can only make one. Remember, haploid cell plus haploid cell makes a diploid cell, and we are all diploids. Now, please don't tell me, okay? please don't ask or something like it. I want to put it out now. This is not how twins are made. Twins doesn't mean 2 sperm cells into 1 egg. You get a triploid cell then, and it's not good. If one, you've learnt about it, if 1 chromosome is extra, right, you get, for example, 1 lost or 1 extra, for example, you get Down syndromes, right? So you've got to look at that. This is going to be exactly half more than what it used to be. If it was 46, right, it will be an extra 23 chromosomes of 1 more sperm cell gets in there. Not a good thing, right? Hey, Megan?
Not a good thing.
No.
I've seen a program where she actually had 6, like 2 sets of triplets.
2 sets of triplets. Now we'll figure out how that works just now.
Yeah,
Yes?
that confused me.
Please excuse Megan today. She's like down and
Like
she's
a
not
dopey,
feeling well,
yeah.
and she's dopey, and we need to do something to get this chick back up and going. Because at the moment she's like, bring in the atmosphere, get some life, girl.
I'm sorry.
She better be, right? Now, that is all what happens when fertilization takes place. How the sperm goes into the egg. Okay, now we get to the interesting part. Now we get onto how this actually happens. So let's have a look. Okay, human reproduction is by internal fertilization. Okay, most of the time. Yes, am I right?
Yes, you can have, what is it? When they
In
inject
vitro
in
fertilization.
vitro,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
IVF.
There we go.
I was
So
looking
what
for the
happens is you
abbreviation.
get an egg out and you sperm inside there, and they watch them and it fuses, and that is where they get 6 or 7 different one of your eggs, right? They put the sperm in, and then they plant it in you, right? And hopefully one takes, right? Those people who had 6 and 9 kids, all of them took. You get my point?
Shame.